Hi, what does a vegetarian eat for lunch, for a snack, for dinner, for an appetizer? Babaganouj. What you're going to need are 2 eggplants about the same size, tahini, olive oil, salt, a lime or lemon, a few cloves of garlic, a fork, a knife, a rather big bowl, not too big, a food processor. First thing to do is rinse off the eggplant. And then a very important step. Take a fork, prick all over several times, here and there, not too much. Preheat the grill. Make sure it's medium hot. Take the eggplant, place them on the grill. I like to alternate them. And just keep watching them. Frequently check on the eggplant. Once you see that they're starting to turn kind of brown on one side, but then the other side is starting to turn blacker and gets those ridge marks in it from the grill, just turn them a little bit, however they'll balance, or maybe all the way over, so that they cook all the way through. And remember, it's very important that you have taken a fork and pricked them all over. If you don't, they will explode. I still have a burn mark on my arm from when I forgot to prick them. I opened up the grill and one of them exploded and sent molten eggplant onto my arm and elsewhere, and it burnt it quite badly. So remember, prick your eggplant. As you keep checking on the eggplant, keep turning them. They'll start to get kind of limp, and then you'll be able to position them differently. You want to make sure that they get done pretty evenly all the way around, and that there's no hard surfaces, that they're all relatively soft. Once you find that they're pretty limp all over, there's no hard spots, they're not too limp, they hold together, but it looks like they're all pretty soft inside, turn off the grill. And carefully get them by the middle, because they will fall apart. Put them in your bowl. They may have split, that's okay. The steam comes out. And then take them inside. Let the eggplants sit in the bowl for a couple of minutes. Then once they're not too hot and you can touch them, take them out of the bowl and then slice off this very tip, this green kind of where it attaches to the plant. And be careful, steam can come out of these, and of course steam can be rather hot. So you cut this tip off, and then they will cool much faster if you slice them down lengthwise. Open them up, and then slice them at least another time. Then do the same thing for the other. Cut the green tip off. Compost. Slice it in half, open it up, slice it lengthwise. Then, now you see all the steam come out. They're still rather hot on the inside. You want them to cool down enough that you can touch them, but they're still warm. Once these cut eggplant have cooled enough that you can touch them and not get burnt, now comes the fun part. You want to separate this flesh part and get all of the flesh part away from the skin. And there's still a lot of this flesh hugging the inside of the skin. But unless you've pricked it too much, then the skin comes off mostly in one piece. So you just peel away, or maybe scrape with the side of your thumb until you get just the flesh. And if you get little bits of the skin, that's okay. It adds kind of a smoky flavor, especially if some of the skin has gotten charred. So do that to all of these. Take the flesh, all of the flesh, don't waste any of it, away from the black skin part. Peel it away. And then you have the best part of the Babaganouj, this middle part. Once you've gotten all of the flesh separated away from the skin, and don't miss any of these strings that kind of hug the inside of the skin, scrape it off with your thumb. Make sure you get all of these little bits of flesh, put them in the bowl. Take the skin, compost the skin. Remember, little bits of the skin get in, that's okay. Adds flavor, little tiny bits. And the juice. I keep the juice. It adds flavor as well. Some people might get rid of the juice. Might find it to be a little too bitter. And so you have all your flesh in a bowl. And you have relatively dry hands. Your food processor. Then take all of the flesh, put it in neatly into the food processor. Now I put the juice in. Okay. Take the garlic, smash it. Then once you smash it, you can take out the skin. Throw away the peel. Chop it up just a little bit. Put it in. A little bit of salt. Salt to taste. Maybe a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of tahini, which is sesame, ground sesame seeds. Take your lime. I like to use limes because they don't have seeds. Take a reamer. The juice of 1 lime, maybe more, to taste. Maybe a little more lime juice and less salt, to give it a little bit of a kick. A little tart flavor complements the sweetness of the grilled eggplant. Compost limes. Some people do this by hand. They put the eggplant into a bowl and mash it with a fork. It comes out very chunky and very irregular. I do it in the food processor, but don't do it too much. It's not a whip. It's chunky, it's irregularly shaped. Don't use the on, just use the palms. You just want to break it up. Make sure that it all gets down in there so that part of it doesn't get pulverized into an unrecognizable paste. But it still retains the wonderful shape of the eggplant. And there it is. Scrape it out into a bowl. Of course, you know I'm going to come back and get all of that later. Wow, look at that. And it's just the perfect temperature. You buy it in the store, it was made a month ago, It's in this plastic thing. It's been refrigerated for who knows how long. And you dip into it and it's cold. Warm. Just warm enough. And I love chips. I love to dip bread, chips. But one of my favorite things to use to dip is Belgian endive. Makes these little scoops. You can break them in pieces. Dip it in. I almost forgot the best part. Extra virgin organic olive oil. Add it at the end, just drizzle it on the top. Makes it a little slipperier. It's just warm enough, smoky. One could use a little bit more salt. Some people put pepper in it. There you have it. Babaganouj.